do it. There we go. So as I was saying, I was expecting a young man to pop in here who hasn't had a reading in a bit. And I think it's his mom that's on the other side, because I've had this mother energy with me through most of the morning. So let me just try to focus on your energy and not on that other energy. Interesting. Yes. When I'm looking at you, all I'm feeling is do her cards, do her cards, do her cards, do her cards. Interesting. You know what that tells me? There is an energy that is going on around you that maybe you are misinterpreting, or that you need to see with more clarity.
Okay.
Because that's what the cards do, right? Is they really help gain clarity on current situations, right?
Yeah, it's focus. Yeah.
Oh, let me do this. Hold on. Dave's in the background going, "Hi, babe. Hi, babe." So funny.
Are you hearing do her cards, or you have her cards?
No, I'm hearing do her cards. Why? What
Okay.
is have her cards?
Because I sent you my cards, right?
Oh, yes. No, I know. I have those
Okay.
actually. And it's interesting because a couple of people have already taken those cards.
Nice.
They're on my little card holder. And I just told a couple of people who've needed them that this is somebody that helps with boundary coaching. So give her a call.
I also, I have a book study coming up starting next week on Tuesday. So it's a whole lot less expensive for people who want the coaching. Yeah, it's 6 weeks and it's $222 plus GST. So.
All right. Well, let's see what they have to say. They're already popping.
And if they mention your name, Tracy, I won't charge them GST. So there you go.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, I will make sure that I tell them that. Okay, I'm shuffling this one more time. The first card that popped out was the Fate. So you were fated to do this. You know this.
Obviously.
As I'm saying this, I think you're starting to understand that. Because when you understand that this is fated and this is your destiny, so to speak, then the struggle kind of goes away. Because it just is. You know what I mean? It's just in the process of developing. I think you're really starting to jump into that idea more. Wow. Okay. You got 15,000 cards coming up here. Yeah.
Woohoo.
Great cards coming up, though, to be honest with you. Oh, I love this. This is exactly what it's talking about. And you have the Fate. Because, see, this is actually a really great message. I know why they wanted me to read your cards. Because you have a great message for a lot of other people that are listening. Because you turned away from an old career of obligation, of doing a career that you had to do, that you didn't really like to do. You had to believe in yourself, right? You had time to go. The time to go card. What the? Crypto Barbie. That is interesting. Sorry, you just got my attention. You got two of you in the screen, Crypto Barbie. Mandy, I know that's you. That's just really freaky looking. Okay, I'm going to try not to pay attention to that, even though your ear is taking up the whole screen. If you could, close that off for me. I was just distracting for a second there. Okay, I'm going to try not to look at that. So we have the time to go card, which is the card about moving on. That's what I was saying, moving out of the old and moving into the new. You have the regeneration card, which is about regenerating your life, regenerating everything, doing things new. Again, that it all starts with the Fate of knowing that there's something that was supposed to be there or that you could move into that was so much better. Utilizing, this is what I love about these two. Actually, I guess these three kind of go together. You have the higher power card, which is about God, your loved ones, your guides, people guiding you towards this. That's where serendipity comes in, because you've had to learn to follow the signs and symptoms, the synchronicities moving forward in order to get there. And you're starting to see more loyal hearts than dishearts. I think in your past, you were very aware of the snakes around you. And so there was a lot of snakes around you. And the more that you take your awareness off of the people that are not in your corner and you put it onto the people that are in your corner, the more loyal hearts you have showing up. Make sense?
Yep.
So that's a good sign that you are moving into exactly the direction that you want to go in here. So hold on a second. Mandy, can you take your mute button off for me for a second, please? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Whatever your screen is doing is extraordinarily distracting for me because it has your image dancing around the screen and it's like flashing and doing all this crazy stuff and it's really distracting. Can you?
Okay, I'm outside. That's why I'm driving my wheelchair home. So I didn't want to. I don't know. Should I just log back in when I get home?
Or just turn your camera off for now. Do you know how to do that? There you go. Perfect. Thanks, sweetie. And then when I come to you, then you can turn it back on, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, honey. Okay. So I don't know what this means, but I see Dave standing here. He's very proud of himself. He shows me my symbol for pride, and then he points to himself. And I'm like, okay, what are you proud of yourself for? He's showing me the house. And he's like, I did that. I did that. Something came your way. Help or something is coming your way for something to do with the house. But I don't know what this is. If it's like renovations or you're wanting to do something, I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I am renovating our fireplace in the house is being
Yep.
renovated today as we speak, actually.
So yeah, no, he's talking about being really proud of himself because I don't know, he either I don't know, he's showing me the serendipity card again, the synchronicity. So something happened to align this for today, something, or for the price that you're getting. So either he aligned the person that you needed at the right time, or he gave you a discount. There's something about the serendipity of this happening today.
I'm not sure what that part would be. I know it's in part because he hated our wood burning fireplace so much that I'm upgrading it to an electric fireplace.
Yep. That's part of it. That's exactly part of it. When you say that, I understand it a little bit more. And he goes, that's right. That's why I'm proud of me. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, because you have still heard that in your head ever since he hasn't been here. And that's what kind of gave you the inspiration to do this. But the thing is that this feels very beneficial for you. Like doing this, I don't know if it's just going to save you a bunch of money or heartache or pain or whatever the struggle. Like there's a tension that you're releasing with that.
Yeah, because I'll be able to have a flame to meditate with in the house, like to have, instead of just an open area that just reminds me of not being able to.
This is why he's getting so excited about this, because see, we oftentimes in our daily lives, we pass off spirit's messages talking to us. We don't even understand that it's coming from them. He's been gone for a number of years now, and you're just deciding to do this now. This is the serendipity card that he's showing me, synchronicity, chance. This was you hearing him because it was an answered prayer kind of thing. Like what I'm feeling from this is that you had put the call out there of what can I do to help me elevate and get into this higher, like when you say this will help you meditation, I can feel that you asked that question, what can help me get to that state better? And this was an idea that came into your mind, but what you don't understand is this was your husband giving you this idea to help you get to that next level. Remember in your cards, the other ones that just popped up, they were talking about, I just put them all away here, the loyal heart, the higher power, the serendipity. So you think you're creating all this by yourself right now, but you're not. He's there with you and he's giving you the inspirations that you need at the right moment. You weren't ready to do this last year. It would not have been as meaningful to you had you done it last year as it is now. That's not an accident. That's him helping you right now. And the message that I think behind all of this, I still got these two cards here, the regeneration and the time to go, is that you finally are moving out of that old obligation cycle and you really are bolstering into this new life, this time to go, time to move into this new life and regenerate. This is going to come quicker than you expect. You're doing all of the things that you need to right now. You're surrounding yourself with the tools that you need to have in order to get to that next level. And then it's almost like a switch gets flipped, and then it's all going to come rushing in.
That's exciting.
So get excited, yes. Because,
Yes.
and just remember, this is him giving you these inspirations. He's what I think is funny, if it was his idea to redo the fireplace in the first place, and then the message he has coming forward on the day you're getting it done is, I'm so proud of you, me. This is my idea. This renovation is me. That is extremely, extremely real validation to me that he's with you at this exact moment in time, and that he's helping you build from where you are to where you want to go, which I have to laugh at the irony of this, because he's making me feel like in the real world, in the physical world, he had no interest in this, and it was really hard for him to understand how to help you moving forward. So now that he's on that side, he loves that you guys get to do this together in a way that you could never have done it together if he was here in the physical world.
Right, because he didn't believe in this in the physical world.
Yeah, he does now. He's like, some things we got to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Take away my body and I'll learn how to speak spirit language very quick. It's kind of like somebody might not know how to speak sign language. They might not ever have the desire to learn sign language. But then if you take away their hearing, guess what? Now they have the desire to learn.
Yeah.
Take away his physical body, he had the desire to learn how to communicate with you very strongly. And that gave me goosebumps, because that's exactly what he just said today. I was the one, not me, him, that planted that idea in your head to get this done right now. He's the one working with you, moving you forward to that next level.
Because it started actually back in February. They did the demo and started the rebuild, and then they disappeared for a while, and then they're back again this week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, my friend Crypto Barbie, I love your name. Mandy, I'm definitely coming to you. There you go. Now you can be all flashy. I don't know how you did this, but you got your head in the background here. It's like your picture in the background. And then you right now are like bouncing all over the screen. Wait till you see this.
You froze.
Did I? There we are. Can you see me now? Uh-oh, is this me frozen or you? Can anybody else hear me?
Her frozen, because you're fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mandy, it's you that's freezing, sweetie. Can you see me still? Maybe I'm gonna move on here.
I can see you.
You can see me. Okay. I don't need to see you to do this. If this works better without me seeing you, then are you good to go?
I'm good to go. I just shut off my video.
Okay. Spirit was getting distracted too. Oh, goodness sake. Okay, are you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
You have a little bit of tense energy around you today, hon. Interesting. All right. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body and blow it directly towards me, and give me a minute to focus. Oh, a couple of weird things. Okay, so first of all, whenever we do this, I see this giant angel step forward around you, because you always ask me to talk to your guides and not so much the people that are on the other side. So again, I feel this flapping of the wings as I connect to your energy, but I have to note that this time I see two. And when I asked why is there two giant angels here, they said because you asked for extra protection or extra help this week. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they're showing up, sweetie. They're both here. What's interesting is I feel this situation. Slow this down. Do you remember us talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Do you remember, and I'm going to try to keep what I say limited here for privacy sake, but do you remember that there's a situation of, so if we were going to invest in something, it's kind of like when I'm gambling. This is what they're showing me. Not that I gamble a lot, but once or twice a month, I'll put 20 bucks into this online gambling site, right? This online site. And then when do I pull out? When do I cash out, right? And there's this, I kind of have this rule of thumb that when I get to a certain level, I cash out 90% of my stuff and then just play with the other 10%. I keep seeing this scenario going over and over and over with you, and then them telling you to breathe, to breathe. So I know there is you have some investment here. And I see this, so it's up and it's down. It's like a heartbeat. It's all over the freaking place, right?
Yeah.
That's causing a little bit of stress or uncertainty right now, hey?
Yeah. It's funding my next moves.
So they're reminding you to make sure, because I think that was the advice the last time that we talked, was to cash out 90% and put in the other 10, right?
Yeah.
Slow this down. Even if you didn't do that, here's the message I'm getting, is that even if there was some kind of, I'm going to use this word loosely, because this is what I think that you feel like about it, if there was some type of mistake, if you feel like you made an error here, I want you to understand that this error was in your benefit. Because understanding the situation, like figuring out how you made that error now, is going to save you thousands of dollars and time and effort later. You understand that?
Okay.
So they're telling you to get excited about whatever this error was now, because literally I'm seeing that save your ass in the future in a way, because you learn a very valuable lesson from this. It was like on a small scale. Whatever this situation was that you just faced, you're going to face it again in a large scale coming up here. Because what I keep seeing is, I want to pull a couple cards for you too, if that's okay. Because I just want to validate what I'm seeing. I'm seeing God's literally showing me this big bag of coins and dumping it all down over you. But he's making sure, he's going to make sure that you know how to care for those coins, because people may try to trick you out of them, or a situation may come that will, if you don't know how to handle this properly, then when those coins come, they will just go down the hole. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So training you right now to be able to handle this money in the future. That is also validation to me that there is extreme money coming to you in the future. So I just want to pull a couple of cards. Oof, I didn't even have to try really hard. See, round and round right away. We have the round and round card. I love that. And if you go back and you listen to my tarot readings that I just did, this card came up a lot today, because what this card means is exactly what I just said. It talks about that a situation or a cycle repeating itself, right? And that when it comes back around again, it's coming back around because we have the tools to deal with this situation differently this time than we did the last time. So considering what I just said to you, and that your angels just told me that this situation is going to come back around to you in the future, and then you get this round and round card, come on now. So that's kind of validation that that's exactly what they're talking about, right? Give me a second. Again, they're flying. Oh, sweetie, I love this. Oh, I love this. The last two cards that you got were No Place Like Home. Because, and I know what that means, because you're still trying to find a place that feels like home right now, right? You're still trying to find that place where you're going to lay down roots. This has been on your mind a lot, right?
Yeah.
Milk and honey. Milk and honey. What did I just say? You have more money than I've ever seen. This giant bag opening up and pouring down onto you right now. And I wish I could say that to everybody, but that's what milk and honey means. Milk and honey is the fruit that at the end of a struggle. It is the manifestation. It is, I mean, milk and honey doesn't just pop up, right? It's something that has been worked and tended to and has come to fruition. This is everything you've been asking for, and it's in the house. Interesting. So what I'm getting from this is that if you can change your mindset to looking at, let me put it this way. If you were in college to learn how to get all of these coins, right? And you go through, let's say the teacher gives you a test or a quiz, right? Those are meant to show you where your weaknesses are so that when you get to the unit final, you can conquer that shit. Excuse my language, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is. So if you can look at it from that perspective of, okay, so I need a little bit of work on this and this in my, on the quiz. And if you can look to God with excitement and eagerness and these angels, like the reason why there's two angels here right now is because you put out a call and said, I need extra help. So they step forward while I'm doing this reading for you because I don't know that you did that, but they know. So that's validation that the extra help that you asked for is coming. You are exactly where you need to be. The only thing that I would say do a little bit differently is stop getting mad that you didn't ace every single quiz along the way. Sometimes we need a little bit of practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going through right now. Does that make
Okay.
sense? So don't worry. Get excited, because when you get excited and happy about it, then you literally open your hose so that all of that good stuff, all of that stability and financial stability and abundance, that's the word that I'm looking for, that is trying to come into your world, will just whoosh, flow so quickly into your world.
Okay.
Make sense?
And what about my traveling? Because it's getting like very complicated with COVID.
Yeah, because it's saying no place like home, no place like home. That's why you got the no place like home card. It means make peace with where you are. Make peace with where you are right now. When I know you want to move to somewhere else coming up, but you will know when the time is right to move, when the universe works with you. If you have to go against the grain and push and force to make something happen, then the time is not right. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm forcing to stay here.
Then you're not supposed to be there. So if you are feeling like you are forcing it to try to stay where you are, then the answer is that you're not supposed to stay there. Now so here's what I'm seeing going on when you say that. What I heard in my ear was we can't always get to where we want to go in one step. We might have to take baby steps. So you might not get to from where you are to Dubai, for example. You might have to make a move or two in the meantime in order to find that peace that you need. Because the answer for Dubai, like world travel, it's not your fault. It's all of us, right? We can't do the travel that we want to do right now. So we are learning to have to make peace, or to make, not make do, but to take those baby steps. Eventually we will get there. It's about making peace with where we are now and taking those baby steps and making peace with those baby steps, knowing that we are on the path to where we want to go. Does that make sense?
No.
Like, no, because I don't want to move again. Darn you.
No, I don't have any problem moving. But like for me, this isn't home. So it's like there's no place like home. Dubai is my home. So, but I'm not there. So is that telling me that I should go?
No, well, eventually, yes. Because what cards did you get? You got the no place like home, and you got the round and round and round we go, right? Because you've been in this place before of feeling like you are not at home. And when you feel like you're not at home, when you feel like this is not your place, that you can't reside here, then what happens? All of a sudden, situations start happening in your world that push you out of that home, right? You're following me here?
Yeah, so that's how I feel. So that's why I'm like, oh, but that's a very confusing message, because it's like to be at peace with where I am, but then there's like all this resistance to where I am. So then wouldn't I go home?
That's what you've got to, okay. So what this is saying is that you have to make peace with where you are in order to get where you want to go.
Mhm.
You have to understand that, yes, you are going home. I'm telling you, I'm feeling that Dubai connection, sweetie. I absolutely am feeling that. You are going to get there, but it might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. And the more that you feel frustrated because you're not there yet, the longer it's going to take you to get there. Until you can learn to feel comfortable with where you are and make it home, make it your temporary home. But you have to be able to feel like, okay, this is my home for now. And unless you can feel that way, then you're pushing your ability to get to Dubai further away. You block it off. I know it sounds like a paradox. What are you talking about, Tracy? You want me to feel comfortable in my home? I just told you this is my home. I know that's the trick of the whole thing, right? In order to bring into your world what you want, you have to feel like you already have it. I want to say that again. In order to bring into your world what you want, you have to feel like you already have it.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm in the wrong place. Like I feel like, you know, with all the resistance that I meet daily and staying here, I feel like I'm forcing, like I'm pushing, like, oh, I have to stay here. It's cheaper, it's easier. Like, no, I shouldn't go. But it's like like I had 4 emails just this morning about like shit that's going a mess here. And I'm like, do I fight all of these things? Like, I don't even really need to be here. I feel
Okay.
like
What
my home is somewhere else. Like I would like to be there. I feel happy when I see myself there. Then it's just like I have constant resistance when I'm here. I'm like, should I
what
keep
is the
fighting all these battles?
what is the path of least resistance? See, if you're looking for the answer, then it's harder to find. But if you look at the situation and go, okay, so which answer has the least resistance? Which answer, which actions can I take that the current will pull me along and I won't have to try so hard? Because there's choices and decisions that you have to make that are like swimming upstream. And then there's choices and decisions that when you make them, they kind of take you along and you don't even have to try. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if the answer is that, because I think I'm right here. I think you couldn't get to Dubai right now. Do they have travel restrictions on world travel? I don't know.
No, there's no restrictions. I can get on a flight in an hour.
Okay. So would that be the easy road to do? Would that be the road of least resistance?
Like it's super easy for me. I just don't know what the right thing is. That definitely
It's
sounds
super okay, but listen to
peaceful.
me. Exactly. You just said out loud. That sounds super easy, but I don't think it's right.
No, I said I don't know, because if it's like, oh, if I'm supposed to be at peace and where I am and make this home, it's like that's a whole nother project.
Okay, so stay with me. I'm not saying that you have to make the house that you are living in right now your home. I'm saying that at this moment in your life, the 2 cards you had is the round and round. You faced, oops, here we go. You
Mm.
faced this problem before, right? You've been in this problem many times before.
Mm-hmm.
This time you have the tools to face it differently than you've ever faced it before. Because what the central energy that is going on in your world is all around making peace in your home. So if you cannot make peace in the house that you are in, and that makes no sense, and all you feel around that is resistance, 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 then the
Mm-hmm.
message in this is to choose differently than you've chosen before. In the
Got it.
past, when you've been in this situation, you forced it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This time, it's to take the easy answer. It literally is that simple. It's the easy answer. If
Okay.
moving to Dubai is what is easiest for you and that all signs are pointing to yes, then that's what you're supposed to do. Your
Okay. Got
old world will continue to get crunchier and crunchier and tenser and
it. Got
tenser
it.
until you move out of that world and go to the place where you can feel like home.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. I was like, oh God, I have to deal with this again. It's a lot of resistance. I have to fight these battles over and over. Okay.
No, you've been fighting these
Perfect.
battles
Yes.
over and
Okay.
over, right? You've
Okay.
been fighting them. And it's about stop, get off that roller coaster, understand that you have the knowledge to deal with this differently than you did before.
Got it. Okay.
Go the
Perfect.
path of least resistance. I just want to pull one here before I move on because I just saw the sun card when I said that. I want to see what happens When Mandy goes to Dubai, what happens? What happens when Mandy goes to Dubai? I love it. Oh, there's one more. There's a one more card here. Oh, sorry. I just dropped them all. So the cards that you had come up, the first one was the ending card. So don't be scared by this card. It means that something is done. It's done, it's done, it's done. Where you're living, what you're going through now, this cycle is over. You played this before, you know how this goes. You're not interested, right? That's as done as we can get. Then you have the Nine of Wands, which is a good card. It's a perseverance card. It's about, you know what? He's been walking for a while. He's been doing this for a while. He might be tired, but he's not stopping. It's the perseverance card. And finally is the Knight of Pentacles, which just backs up what I was saying, that this has been spirit training you, because the Knight of Pentacles is the card of slow and steady wins the race. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
That you've been working on this for a while and that you are moving towards. The other thing about the Knight of Pentacles is that he represents the manifestation of what you are working towards. So slow and steady wins the race. This is reminding you that you have what it takes to move forward, allow that old cycle to end, and to bring into your world everything that you've been trying to manifest over this last while.
Awesome. Okay.
Just literally picked up a card from the deck and I said, and that leads to, and this is the card I picked up, the Star card. Wishes coming true. The manifestation of your wishes.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Well, you better still touch base with me from Dubai, my friend.
Of course, dear. Of course. I can't wait.
Me too. Awesome. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just like peaceful.
Good, good, good. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Amanda, you were next. I'm coming to you. And then I'm going over to Hunter because you came in next. And Sheila, if I get time, I will come to you because you just popped on. I saw you there. So, Amanda, are you ready to do this?
Yes. I'm excited.
That's interesting. I had this lady step forward. She goes, "Are we going to do the cards, dear?" I think this is your grandma because
Yeah.
the ones that call me dear. That's so funny. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's do this connecting exercise, hon.
Okay.
If I can get you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for me. And then I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling them all the way up through your body and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. So what's interesting, Amanda, is that I have a grandmother figure stepping forward. And I'm fairly certain this is grandma because she goes one above you. She shows me the grandma gush, which is I love you, I love you, I love you, like that kind of energy.
Yes.
And then there is somebody else here who passed before we would think of as their time, like they're a lot younger than her. But she's like, get out of the way. My turn first this time. I'm going first this time. Slow this down. I want to acknowledge the other person here, even though your grandmother wants to talk to you first. She's not really validating how she passed, so she must have come through before. But I want to see who this person is that passed before we would think of as their time. I do hear daddy's hands, which is my symbol for father figure, or somebody who's on dad's side of the family.
Yes.
Who is that to you? Dad?
My grandfather.
Interesting. Why does he come through as younger than her?
He was older than her.
This is not who she's bringing through.
Hmm.
So when you say that, now I can start to see that energy over there as well. But she is bringing through. So this is what I love about spirit, is they're very specific. And they don't care if they make me look stupid. If you can't figure it out, they will keep giving me the same signs and symbols because they know what they mean. So they're bringing forward the soul of somebody who passed before we would think of as their time. They have white lighters all around them, which are my symbol. White lighters are beings on the other side of pure white light. Their job is to help souls heal. So typically I will see them surround somebody who either takes responsibility for their passing, committed suicide, or whose passing was sudden, unexpected, or traumatic in such a way that there's a lot of healing needed for the person that passed or the people that are left behind.
Is it like if I say who I think it is, would it validate it?
Yes. Who do you think?
Well,
this is?
I think it's Callie. It's my cousin's daughter who passed as a baby. It's her birthday today.
That makes sense. That was the other thing I'm hearing back here in my library is the happy birthday. I was literally hearing the happy birthday song. But
Yeah, it's like it's her 8. She would have been 8 today.
uh-huh. See,
Yeah.
and your grandma's like, it's not an accident that you got through today. You didn't come through on Saturday. You weren't here last week. You're here today.
Wow.
See, and but what's interesting is the soul of this child is like trying to come through and like go, hi, I'm here. And your grandma's like, get out of the way, kid. I'm coming first. But again,
Yeah, I never. Yeah, I never got to meet. She was a baby when she passed, so I actually never got to meet her.
She said, tell my mom I don't have any breathing problems. I am good. I breathe fine. I am totally at health on this side. So
yeah, she passed away of SIDS. So it was a lot of up in the air, kind of what happened.
Please tell her mom it wasn't her fault.
Okay.
She said, because she just took me to the brain and showed me the brain scoop. And that's kind of why and your grandma's allowing this to happen today.
Yeah.
It's because the mom still carries a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda. I should have checked on her more. I should have done this. I could have done that. Like this was my fault or something like that. And she said, that's bullshit. I'm okay. Excuse my language. Even babies get a hold of my vocabulary on that side. She is showing me an outfit though, and I don't know if it's framed or just special. I don't know how to explain it in a special box or something. But she's showing me an outfit of hers that is put away and special. And she's thanking her mom for that. And she's wanting her to know that when she talks about her and thinks about her, she's around and seeing the baby footprint. So there's something about the footprint as well. And I don't know if that's on a tattoo of somebody because I saw the footprint or the handprint of the tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. She's like, tell my mom I'm okay. And she's like, thank you so much.
I will. That's so cool.
Your grandma. So now she brings forward your grandfather. This is funny. They have funny energy. She's like, get over here. She asked for you too. Get over here. And your grandfather is he's got this carefree energy of like, I do what I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's on his timetable. They're together, absolutely together, but they have this funny bantering energy back.
Well, yeah, because it's my grandmother on my mom's side, and then this is my grandfather on my dad's side.
That makes sense why they're like bickering back and forth. Like they're together. Notice how they didn't say they were holding hands. They didn't come through like that. But she yelled at him, get over here. Do you know what I mean? But that's funny. They definitely still have that like bickering energy back and forth. Slow this down. Interesting. So he's trying to talk over her, which is funny. This is Dad's dad.
Yeah.
He said, I like the house, by the way.
Oh.
Did you just move? No, hold on. When I said that, he goes, he's like, we are in the vibrational stages. You are in the stages of vibrationally creating the house that you want. And he's stepping forward to let you know that he is guiding you right to it. But he said, we're not done the vibrational creation. I think you just realized that, okay, I just got to see it in my head and then they will guide me right to it. He's like, check, that's exactly it.
Yeah, that's absolutely it.
Okay, Grandma, she's getting him out of the way. She's like, get out of here, my turn now. She kissed your cheek. She's like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, for what? She's putting the graduation cap on your head. That's my symbol for either just graduated or coming up graduation. But actually, when I'm saying this, I'm feeling a different kind of graduation, like graduating from one stage of life into another stage of life. Slow this down. Are you in a new relationship, sweetie?
No.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Not for long.
Oh God. I literally just was saying how I'm happy. I'm gonna be single for a long time.
That's why you're not going to be single, because you're happy. Did you hear
Oh.
that reading before where that girl wants so badly to get to another place, to another home, but she
Yeah.
doesn't feel like she's already there before she can get there? When you're happy that you're single and you're loving your life and you're loving who you are, somebody else goes, oh, I love that too. And they come right in.
Like I was so ready that I'm like thinking, you know, I'm gonna have a baby by myself. I'm gonna do all this stuff by myself.
Oh, you are not. You are, I'll tell you right now, you are so not. Your grandma is already on the hunt. She said, if you can do a vibrational list for a house, then you can do a vibrational list for the man that you want. Let me tell you something. Oh, I know exactly what she's getting at here. She just got all
I don't know if I want a man. I don't know if I want to be with someone.
listen to me. This is why she's getting all fired up about this, sweetie.
Yeah.
Is because the reason why you don't want a man is because you are basing that choice and decision based on old, outdated fears.
Yeah.
You are not the same person that you were back then. You are not going to make the same choices and decisions now that you would have made before that got you hurt. You know how now to vibrationally create what you want and settle for nothing less.
Yeah.
So instead of telling yourself that you can never have a relationship, I want you to tell yourself, and your grandma say, not you, Tracy, me. You tell her it's coming from me, not you. All right. Grandma wants you to tell yourself that there is an amazing relationship that is coming up for you. There is somebody in this world that can love you exactly the way that you want them to love you. But the problem is you don't know what those ways are yet. You haven't spent any time thinking about it. It's
No.
like if you spent all your time being in a house that was falling down and breaking down on you, and every time you move to a new house, it's in a broken down house. Eventually, you would have to learn how to look for the houses that were newer and not accept the old, right?
Yeah.
This is all you've got to do is switch your thinking into, I can have whatever I want, but I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve. So
Right.
that means I'm not single forever. I'm single until. You see the
Yeah, I
difference?
was hoping to be like single till like, I don't know, 40. Till I was done having kids.
No, you don't want that, sweetie. I'll tell you something. I got 4 kids, 3 different dads.
Yeah.
And I don't care how that makes me sound. I had my first one when I was 17. Then I got married. I had 2 more. I got
Yeah.
divorced, and then I had a oops. Huh. And so I've done it all ways.
Right.
Doing it by yourself is a lonely journey. It takes a lot of self inner work, a lot of self parenting. It can be a very painful journey as you look around and see all these daddies loving up their babies and feeling like you're missing out on that. What I want you to understand is that you don't have to miss out on anything. Everything that you have ever wanted is possible, but you have to believe in that more than you believe that men are evil. Or painful is a better word, right?
Yeah. I think it's because I've been doing it by myself for 7 years. And I think I just don't want to do it again. Like
That's exactly it. Doing it yourself is hard. And when you finally
it's
get into
it's
that
almost, I
groove,
think it's easier though. Like
oh, I know.
thinking. Yeah. Like
Oh, I know.
yeah,
But at the same time, so you have a child now, right?
I do. Yeah.
Because yes, it's easier and it's also harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what I want you to understand is that it doesn't have to be harder. I know that's all you've known in the past, so that's all you thought was coming up for you in the future. But I'm telling you, your grandma's telling you, sorry, she doesn't like it every time I say that. Your grandma's telling you that there is an amazing man coming up in your future, but you have to learn to develop your checklist. Don't put a never or always onto anything. What she wants you to do is to go over your checklist as if you were going to hire for the position of a secretary in your world. Okay. So if you were going to hire a secretary, you would have to make sure that you knew what skills that they had before you hired them. So you would want somebody that could answer the phone, that could work a computer, that was good with people, and that can type, for example, right?
Right.
So you have to be very clear that these are the things that I need somebody to have. These are the qualities I need them to have before I hire them. So then when we go through the interview process, the dating process, equivalent, When we meet somebody, we don't meet them. When you're hiring somebody, you don't hire somebody based on what they look like, do you?
No.
When we date, we often date on what they look like, and then we wonder why we get our freaking hearts broken. Take what they look like out of the equation and replace it with what they feel like.
Yeah.
So instead of having, they have to be 6 feet tall with brown eyes and a mustache or whatever. Oh, she said, take the mustache off, Tracy. She doesn't like facial hair. Anyway, instead of having that physical picture in your mind of what they need to look like, I want you to have the picture or not. Okay, fine. She's saying have the picture in your mind of what he feels like, in the sense of when I'm around him, I feel limitless. I feel like I can do anything. I feel like this man loves me. I feel like he appreciates me. I feel an attraction to him in a way I've never felt before. I feel a joy and an inspiration and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to put onto your list. Oh my gosh, your grandma is like killing me here. She is saying, put into your list all of the things that you want him or that you want to feel before you will allow yourself to get into a relationship with somebody again. And
Right.
then you're going to meet somebody that makes you feel all of those things. And when you feel yourself feeling all of those things, you're going to recognize him, not based on what he looks like, but based on how you feel. You
Okay.
understand that? Because
Yeah.
there is more babies coming in your world. I can see them already. Your grandma is teasing me about you can name them after her, but I feel like she's got a really old-fashioned name. Like,
Yeah. Yes. And she never liked it too.
That's probably why she said, I know it's old-fashioned, dear, but tell her to name her after me. That's a sign that there's a little girl coming in your world, because I feel like you have a boy right now.
I do. And I always just kind of thought of having a girl as well. And like, yeah.
But she wants a daddy, sweetie.
Yeah.
And you have to tell yourself that that's possible, or you will never get it.
Right.
So work on your checklist. Tell yourself that you are going to remain single no matter what, until somebody comes into your world that meets all of those things.
There's no
on your
fear of that one. Yeah.
And then I want you to visualize yourself in the future with this person in your life and be proud of where you are, because where you are right now is an extremely important step to getting to where you need to go. Because where you are right now was you just finished emptying out your cup.
Yeah.
Oh, Hunter's gone. You just finished entering out your cup of everything that you didn't want in your world, right?
Yeah.
And now you're sitting here with this empty cup going, you know what? I'm not going to fill it up with nothing. Screw you people. I'm not going to fill it. I don't want no men. I don't want nothing.
Well, yeah,
I'm just gonna cheat.
I feel like, 7 years ago, I definitely wrote off men, and then I kind of let someone back in, and it was not what it looked like. I was like,
But that's because you let him back in based on what he looked like, based on the sweet nothings that he was telling you, right?
yeah.
But see, if you had developed your checklist, sweetheart, then what he looked like is not on there. What he tells you is not on there. What is on there is what is on that checklist is how he makes you feel. And if you had have had that checklist before you started dating that guy, you would have realized that he doesn't make you feel the way that you were hoping that this new person in your life would make you feel. And you would never have given him the time of day that you did without the checklist.
Absolutely.
Work on your checklist and know that what you want is possible and is coming in your world. Get into the vibration of eager excitedness that when you are ready, he will come. And just know that he is there. And so are your other babies and your life. Just work on being happy where you are, because that's literally the key to letting it in.
Well, yeah, I felt like I was good. I was like, okay, I'm fine with this. It's kind of all I've been doing. And I think genuinely, I try my best to.
But you understand that peaceful feeling that we get, and Hunter, don't you go anywhere because I'm coming to you next. That peaceful feeling that we get in that situation when we're comfortable where we are is literally the key that lets in what we want. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So when you are satisfied, when you are where you are, you let in more things that match satisfaction.
Right.
Understand?
Yeah.
Just know he's coming. Your grandma is like, see, the reason why she said this is because even though you are satisfied with where you are,
I literally feel myself like pushing it away, even just like thinking of it. I'm like, oh no, no.
that's again because you are focusing on what the old is. You have to you have to get that old out of your mind and tell yourself that not every single relationship in this world is the way that your old relationships were, right? You've seen good and healthy relationships in this world. They are possible. So if it's possible, you just got to wrap your mind around how to make that possible in your life. The way that's possible in your life is not by running around thinking all relationships are crap. So the first thing that you have to do is focus on telling yourself a different story. You've told yourself that men are not safe for a very long time.
Yeah.
You need to change that in your mind now and say it's not that men are not safe. It's not that relationships are not safe. It's that jumping into a relationship without a firm vibrational creation first, without a map, is dangerous.
Right. Yeah.
There is love coming in your world. And there is extreme career. Here's the thing. There's something about your career going boom before this love comes in, because I think that's what he gets attracted to be honest with you.
Well, I've always kind of felt like, I don't know, the two, like my last relationship kind of intertwined with work, which I felt like was a mistake. And now I feel like I'm kind of in that weird spot still where it's like, they're still kind of intertwined, but I'm just not interested, like I'm interested in my work, but not that part of it.
Yes. Just let yourself shine at work. Let yourself be that star that, other men are like, because I keep hearing, she's so beautiful, Tracy. She's so beautiful. You should see the men that throw themselves at her. She's so beautiful. And so the thing is, if you can just enjoy being in that vibration where everybody wants me, that kind of energy, just enjoy it for a while.
Right.
And my sister just wrote, is your sound fixed? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I think it was this hunter. He went back and came back.
I see. Okay. I see. This is why I shouldn't read the comments. All right. So grandma's pulling her energy back, but here's the thing. She just handed you an ice cream cone. Very random, but weird.
We used to eat ice cream at our house a lot.
She said, go get an ice cream cone and think of me. And I'm seeing it all over your son's face. Is he like 6, 8, somewhere in there?
Yeah, he's 7.
Right in between. That's exactly what I'm seeing. This young guy with ice cream all over his face.
Yeah, that's exactly how he eats it.
So know that your grandma's with you, and that she said that this is the day where you start believing in the future that you could have. I want you to think about your future as in the best case scenario. If I had the power to twinkle my little nose and magically create whatever it is that I wanted in my life, that's what you can do. It's in the future. She came here to say to you today, stop thinking about the restriction, because you are not restricted unless you believe you are. Start believing more in love than the pain, and the love will find you. You're about to shine in your career. And I think that the timing of this message is very important. As she's pulling her energy back now, I do want to reiterate this. There's something about the timing, because I feel like there is either somebody that is going to be approaching you soon if they haven't already. And if you do not have your list developed very clearly on what skills and qualifications you need for the person to hire the person to be a partner in your world, then you're going to hire a dud. It's kind of like you have to have that checklist before you start interviewing. Otherwise, if you don't know what you need when you hire a receptionist, somebody's going to come in and he's going to talk you into it. He's going to go, listen, I can type everything for you. I can type 100 words a minute. You're going to love me. Oh, come on. I can do this for you. And then you're going to realize that, yeah, they can type, but they can't answer phones. They don't know how to work a freaking computer, and they suck with people. The only thing they can do is type.
Yeah, I think I'd have such a hard time like recovering from something like that. I would blame myself so hard that like I let that happen again.
Well, this is why you are sitting here right now with your empty cup, because it's about pouring out all of those old thoughts, those old ideas, those old habits of thinking, and not allowing yourself to continue to think that story. If you understand that what you think you create, then it's very dangerous to think something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Change the way you think. You are safe, you are stable, you are extraordinarily loved. And when you get into the satisfaction of that moment, not only does your career propel forward, but you will get many offers from people. I'm seeing many coming in. And just be choosy. Once you know your checklist and you're like, you know what, I've been hurt too many times before. And listen to me, this does not mean that that guy is going to come around your corner and be here tomorrow, even though it feels that soon to me, because there's a lot of internal work that has to happen. The more we are aware of the pain of the past, the longer it's going to take to erase that from our awareness in the present. I personally have been single for 10 years because of this, because I got a really detailed checklist, and I have been through so much freaking pain in the past that unless and until somebody meets every single freaking check mark on this list, I'm single. But
that's how I feel too. I just like, I guess like the kid thing, like I had my son when I was 17, and like
so did I.
A big part of me just wants to kind of have another one. And I'm like scared that I feel like that's what's would cloud my judgment and rush that. I don't want to have
That's why your grandma's telling you. See, that makes sense to me. Why your grandma's trying to give you the reassurance, the validation that there is children over here. They are coming. You don't have to try. You don't have to feel impatient. They are going to come into your world when they're ready, and not a single second before that.
Yeah.
And that she's trying to help you skip a step that I didn't skip. Remember, I said I had my first one at 17, then I got married and I had 2 more.
Yeah.
I got married 9 years later, 10 years later.
Right.
And I had 2 more kids. But I didn't have my checklist then. And I married somebody that was just like my past, right? And so I pulled my past into my present. Now I had 3 kids in the same situation as I didn't want before. And so then I swore off men altogether. I was like, never again. I will never allow a man to commit to me. Yeah. But that didn't mean that I wrote off completely passionate physical exercise, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And well, passionate physical exercise produces children if you're not careful. And so then I raised that child. I've been raising that child by myself. Right. I've been single since the day that I said that I was pregnant in that friendships with benefits situation. I think what your grandma is trying to do here is to prevent you from getting into that type of relationship and repeating those same kind of
well, and I feel like that's kind of what the path was going to happen even like a couple months ago, and that's kind of what I just was like, no, I'm done. Like,
that's why you're saying never. But see what happens, and now I understand exactly why she's telling it to you this way. Because if you say never, I will never get in a relationship again, I'm never doing that. But on this side, you have this overwhelming desire for more children. It becomes a competition. Who's going to win? And eventually you're just going to make the choice for more children, not based on somebody meeting all of your checklist and moving into this with love.
Like, I was going to go to like a sperm bank. Like, that's how serious I was. But
that's what kind of decision fear will make you make.
Yeah, like I was like, I don't want to be clouded by the fact that I want more kids to just rush into something and be with, like, I am extremely grateful for not having the other man in my life, in my child's life. Like, it's really.
But you're extremely grateful. Be careful what you're saying to yourself. You're extremely grateful for having somebody who's not good for you in your life.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have somebody who is good for you in your life. You deserve that, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You deserve that. And that's what you've got to tell yourself more of. I deserve this and I can have this. And just because I had bad before, just because I picked a rotten apple or 2 or 3 before, doesn't mean that the whole batch is rotten. It just means that I didn't know how to look and see the difference between the bruises and the good ones. Now I understand how to see the difference, and I will never choose another rotten apple again.
Yeah.
Oh, she loves you. She just grabbed your cheeks and she's like, I love her, love her, love her, love her. She's like, no more saying that you're never going to do this, or you have to do it with a sperm bank. She's saying, listen, this little girl has a daddy, and he's an amazing daddy. And that when you're ready, that both of them are going to come into your world. But first, you are working on feeling safe and secure first. Because you can't bring somebody into your world and feel safe and secure with them if you don't already feel safe and secure in your own world. So that's what you're developing now. And then when you're ready, within the next year or two, there is somebody coming into your world that you are going to embark on that next chapter for. So don't make a decision based on fear, based on the old world of negativity and trauma. Make your choices and decisions right now based on security and stability. Feed yourself the positive information that you got this, you are beautiful, you are amazing, that you can do this. Somebody is going to love you the way that you deserve. This is coming up in your world. You just got to have a little bit of patience, and it will unfold in a very magical and amazing way.
Okay.
I hope that helps.
It does. It's totally everything I wasn't thinking. So I think it's really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank
Awesome,
you.
awesome. I said, is there anything that you can tell me in a card? And I pulled them and you got the to be fair card. See, I love it. All right, hon. I'm going to let her pull her energy back. I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Hunter, I am coming to you.
I'm ready.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay, but I'm being choked out now.
I wonder why.
It's your mom that's on the other side, right?
It's, yeah, 100%.
And she's like choking off my breathing. She's like, when you disappeared for a minute there, I was like, oh my God, where did Hunter go? Because I have had his mom here with me all freaking morning. He can't disappear and leave me with his dead mom. That's not happening, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, hon. I want you to start with the connecting exercise.
Of course.
So I want you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for me. And then I want you to close your eyes and I want you to take a deep breath, picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Aw, okay. So your mom is jumping right into it. She's not really telling me how she passed. She said, all you get was that not breathing, Tracy. That's how I felt. I didn't breathe for a minute. I was on this side. Now let's get to talking about my boy. Let's talk about him right now. She's so extraordinarily excited and impressed. I feel her energy just going really high about something that you've just accomplished. I don't know what this is. I keep seeing it. Hold on a second. Slow down, Mom. She's so excited. I feel like, I don't know if it's not quite graduation, but I feel like you're either going into a new job, you're embarking on something totally new that she kind of helped you with. Slow this down. She's working with your hands.
There's not a new job for sure. I did just finish one of my last semesters. I do have some courses left to finish over the summer, and then I'm fully done that. I don't know if it's that or the fact that I'm planning on moving out at the end of the summer, and that's been discussed.
Huge, right there, stay there. Because remember she said we're working with our hands. That was my clue, working with your hands. And I'm like, what do you mean working with your hands? And she's showing me this all over the place. So yes, there is a feeling of, remember I said graduating, but not graduating?
Yeah.
That's the school that I'm feeling, the almost through. But this working with your hands, I think what she's trying to say to me is hands-on. So the spirit operates, they speak very symbolically, right? So she's saying very hands-on. You've been hands-on. But what I think she means is hands-on with the family recently. I feel like you've taken the kid gloves off and you've been very direct. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
She's so proud of you for that. She says, don't worry what they say if they don't agree with you, if they don't agree with you, because you are becoming an inspiration that they are going to want to follow. She's extremely proud of you. And I keep hearing an engine, and she's talking about the car. And she's like, ask me, I will help. Ask me, I will help. And then I'm seeing like repairs or painting or something like this.
I mean, well, my sister's car just had to get her door replaced and painted.
There we
I don't know
go.
if that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And she spun her around and kicked her in the butt. And she's like, you tell her I'd like to talk to her, please. I feel like you've been really seeing the signs and symbols from your mom recently. That
I think I have, yeah. Like it was kind of weird yesterday, or it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. Just out of nowhere, like with my old car. I'm not sure if you remember how like my old car died like back in like January. We probably discussed it on one of our old readings. You probably don't remember. But either way, I just like I had lost the main set of keys like over a year ago. And I just kind of randomly found it last night, just like tucked in behind my bed. I'm just like, how did that get there? Like I was just so kind of surprised, but it's just like I've kind of I've developed a sense of like feeling those vibes, and I just kind of got rushed with it when I found that, which is really cool.
it's magic, isn't it? I tell
Yeah.
people this all the time. It really, truly is magical. When you start asking them for what you want and then relaxing about it, then it comes when you least expect it. And when it shows up and you know you asked for it, it's you get tingles up and down your whole body. It's a rush. There's no other way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
She's really proud of you. And I think this is why she's referencing your sister as well, is because your sister's been having a little bit of trouble struggling to understand those signs and symbols in her own world.
Mm.
So this down, she put the heart around the two of you and pushed you closer. The heart is my symbol for healing. And pushing you closer is my symbol for coming together. And then I heard, don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. That's literally how she's chanting it. Don't give up. Have you guys struggled to remain close?
Me and my sister?
Yes.
I mean, not like we've struggled to remain close, but like I kind of find that my wavelength is a bit different than hers at the moment, in sense of it's I find that she brings a lot of negativity into my own things, and it's kind of like a sense of like I'm fed up and I'd rather like do my own stuff on my own terms and really focus on myself, because she's kind of been more of a downside to my life.
That's exactly what she's talking about. That's why she's putting the heart around the two of you. I know exactly what this means, because your sister is just stuck in the trauma. She's experienced a lot of pain and a lot of trauma. And I know what that's like. And it's very hard not to see pain and trauma everywhere you go and make decisions based on that pain and trauma. Right, Amanda? You get what I'm saying here. It's not an accident that this reading is coming right after you heard hers, because you needed to hear all that as well. Right?
Yeah.
Because as long as you are aware of all of that old story, then you pull that into your present and your future as well. And what you just described to me makes perfect sense with what your mom was saying, that you were helping her to heal. And that, remember I said that she's holding you up here as the inspiration. That because what you are doing is you're done with that old story. You're like, I can't deal with this old story anymore. It's like an old pair of wet, dirty socks I can't handle on my feet for one more second.
I hate that.
Ripping them off, and you're focusing on where you want to go. And when you focus on where you want to go, you start feeling better. And the better you feel, the more you want to keep going forward. And then your sister comes in and goes, yeah, but what about the past? And what about this? And what about that? And it takes your attention off of where you're going and onto where you've been and pulls your energy down. And that's where you're like, I ain't doing that. Your mom is saying, keep doing that. She's very proud of you for doing that. And I want you to know, do not feel bad for saying, I'm sorry, but I can't talk to you right now. If somebody comes on the phone, be it your sister or anybody else who just wants to sit there and vent their negativity at you, you have the right to hang up the phone.
That's what I do.
That's exactly it. And you are helping her that way. because you are not helping her if you sit there and you jump into the mud of the negativity with her. Jumping into the mud with her doesn't help her. Standing out of the mud and saying, I'm sorry, I'm not going to jump into that with you, but I will be here to hold your hand if and when you want out of that mud. I will help guide you towards where you need to go.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it
And
does.
what's interesting is I think the reason why I see the heart going around the two of you, and this is why I asked, has it been challenging to stay close? Is that because I feel like you love your sister more than anyone in this entire world. And the challenge for you here is, how do I allow myself to go forward knowing that my sister's still stuck back here? Most of us have the tendency to reach back and try to pull somebody else with us, right?
Yeah,
And we can't help them that way.
no.
When you can understand that we don't help people by getting down in the mud with them, we help people by elevating ourselves to a platform of happiness and security, and then we can reach down and offer them a hand up if they're willing to take our hand. But we will never jump into the mud with them.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
100%.
Please keep talking to your mom. She said, write to me again. Did you? And I heard again. Did you write your mom a letter?
No.
She said, write to me again. So did you used to write to your mom? Because she's still emphasizing again.
No. I've never actually written out on a piece of paper anything directed towards her. I mean, I have in my head, but I've never actually written out anything. I know my sister used to, but I never have.
So that is a dual message. I love how your sister hasn't been able to touch base with me because she's also a member. She hasn't been able to touch base with me for a while now. So I love how your mom is utilizing you to get a message to both
Yeah.
of you. She's saying, write to me, and she emphasized the word again. So if your sister is the only one that used to write to her, that is for her. But it's
Yeah.
also for you too. Write to me. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me where you're hoping to go. Tell me how I can help line you up with what you've asked for. Our words are called spelling when we write them down for a reason, because your words have energy behind them. And just like when you create a magic spell, that is the power of your words, especially when you write them down.
Yeah.
She's so proud of you, by the way. That's all she keeps doing. I know I've said that like 15 times, but she's standing there beating her chest like a gorilla, and she's telling you to keep moving forward. She's so thankful that you have the courage to be able to move forward, and
Yeah.
that you are going to be that leader in your family that helps everyone else. And then
Yeah.
she's showing me thank you for what you're doing with the little guy. You don't have children yet, do you?
No, my sister has one.
That's exactly it. Thank you for being that father figure kind of role. Even though your uncle, I feel like you've kind of stepped up in his life in a very mature, responsible way.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Your mom is so proud of you.
Yeah, I've been trying to focus on my future a lot, and just making sure I have a set path for, I mean, just consistency in terms of my life instead of up and downs, because that's all I've been through. So it's my main focus.
The last thing she shows me as she's pulling her energy back is the peeling onion, the onion layers falling off. So I don't know if you just went through a breakup or there's some relationships that have started to break off here.
Yeah, like I recently stopped talking to my ex.
Yeah, that's a good thing. This is how you know you're moving towards the fruit that you've asked for. Because what happens is when you start taking yourself out of the old and moving towards the new, the old starts falling away and breaking away. It becomes so uncomfortable that you can't wear that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We wear people in our lives, right? And so by you letting go of that old, you're leaving room in your life for the new. So if all of that new hasn't quite showed up yet, get excited because it's about to land on your lap any second now. And
Yeah.
especially with mom involved. She just handed you popcorn. She's like, oh, you better eat the popcorn. It's about to get popping around here.
Wow.
She does show me that whatever is going on. So you're in school, I know you said, but you're working at the same time because I'm seeing
Yeah.
both this summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do both.
Know when you graduate that your mom will be standing right there. And
Yeah.
she's not the first dead person to laugh about how they're the only ones that can stand there with you because they can't see them, so they can't kick them out. She's pulling her energy back, hon. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, it was. I also wanted to ask you, because I was on your live earlier on your Instagram, and those card readings, I found that really interesting.
You want me to pull one?
I would love that.
All right. All right, let's do it. I love cards too. They're very cool, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
All right. God, Jesus, angels, and spirit guides. What can you show me for Hunter? Ooh. Sorry, I have to laugh. Oh, sweetie, everything that we just said. So the first thing is you got take a nap, which means rest up, because you have a lot of everything you've asked for is about to pour down on your world. So the time for a nap is kind of like being in between. You're not where you want to go yet. You're in this in between mode, and it's like just relax, just rest up, just take a nap, distract yourself. You know what I mean? And then you have the mending card. You working on yourself is how you mend things for your family and for your loved ones. You've been through a lot, right?
Yeah.
And what you're doing in your life is not just about the success for yourself. It's about mending those traumas for the people that you love as well. But how do we mend those traumas? We don't mend them by telling other people what to do or how to heal. We mend them by being an example of what can happen when we heal.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Hold on. I want one more for validation here. I got 2, 3. Oh my God, I love this for you. So that's exactly right. When you mend this in yourself, you start out on the Fool. The Fool doesn't mean a fool. The Fool means brand new chapter, no baggage, starting out on a brand new road. That's where you are right now, right?
Yeah.
You're in the Fool. The Fool energy. You have the 8 of Pentacles, which is the card of putting your nose down and working hard, working towards your goals, moving forward in the direction that you want to go. And this is the result, my friend. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
It's the best money card in the deck.
What does that mean?
That means more money, security, and stability than you've ever dreamt of is the result of where you are going. The path you are on leads to this. Security, stability, financial freedom. The beautiful part of the 10 of Cups, though, is that if you can look at this card, it has the family in there.
Yeah.
So it is not just you that is going to succeed when you succeed. It is your whole family.
I like that. That's awesome.
Why I love the cards. They basically just said more poetically what I spent the last 10 minutes trying to say.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, kiddo. Keep putting 2 feet forward and showing the rest of your family what is possible. And like your mom said, I'm proud of you.
Awesome. I appreciate all of this. Thank you.
No problemo. I hope it was helpful.
It was very helpful.
Sheila.
Tracy, I've already had my reading this month. I just wanted to call in and listen. So don't feel like you have to.
Okay, well, can I pull a card for you before we go, though?
Sure.
I'll tell you why, because I've seen you on my Zoom groups the last few times, and I know that you're there to understand the language of spirit, that you're really learning the language of spirit right now. However, I always keep feeling this energy of wanting to reach out, so I know there's a message there.
Okay. Yeah, I've been bringing friends to your meetings, so I've been joining to support them as they get a reading from you.
Did your friend get read the last group?
Yes, she was the one whose daughter had passed away, and you saw the elephant, and they had been in Africa, and it was spot on. Yeah.
Freak her out a little?
I know she loved it. It was great.
Okay, so these are going all crazy on me because I didn't ask a question yet. So let's just focus for a minute here, and I'm going to give them a shuffle. And I want to know what they have to say. Your mom isn't on the other side. This is a grandmother, isn't it?
Yes.
I thought so. Because she's like, ooh, it's my turn. I'm doing the cards this time. Just so you know, I see her leaning over your shoulder, paying attention to every single thing that you read and write. She's very invested in your emotional journey forward, just so you know.
Okay.
All right. Spirit, what do you have to say? As they throw them away. Unfinished symphony. Ooh, that's interesting. What does that mean? Hold on. You've got a story trying to come out. Unfinished symphony and soulmate. Oh, I love that. So I just want to get some more clarity on this. So unfinished symphony is the card of something not being done, working on something, a cycle not being over. The soulmate's card, you're married, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he is definitely your soulmate. It feels like there's something that you are working on with your soulmate that is not done, that you've come to before. Oh, interesting. Feeling left out in the cold. Feels like it's something to do with work or money. Put this down. Four of Swords, retreat. Oh, I hate when they tell me a story slowly. Tell me faster. And they're making me work for it today. The Queen of Wands. That's interesting. So you know what I get from this? Unfinished symphony. That tells me that there's something that's not finished in your world. I feel like, remember how I said that your grandma was watching over your shoulder and very
Mhm.
invested in moving this forward in a new direction? I feel like you can't not. There's something about this work being understanding spirit, understanding cards, whatever this is, that you feel is unfinished in your world, that you can't walk away from, that you have to move forward. And the thing about it is that there's the soulmate card is reminding you that you have this person in your life that loves you unconditionally. There's a security that comes with that. There's a safety that comes with that. That means that that means that you can retreat and figure out a new plan without feeling like you're left out in the cold. You have this other person that will help you along the way to give you the time and energy. What's the word I'm looking for? To create the space that makes it possible for you to focus on how to move forward. I don't know if you're going to try to make a business out of this or whatnot, but you got the Queen of Wands card that comes up after this, which is telling me that all of these skills and whatever this is, this plan that you're working on, you are going to materialize into a new passion, doing something that fills you with passion and desire and manifestation at the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm very business oriented. I have like a corporate job that I'm quite high up in. So that's the one part of me, but then the other part of me is very spiritual. And that's why I'm just drawn to listening to your sessions and being part of it. And I feel like part of and I told Tammy this on email last week.
Yeah.
I feel like part of my plan in life is to do that, is to bring people to you, because I don't have that gift developed fully.
Yes.
I feel like I can figure things out for myself, but like my friend that I brought to you last week, she's from our hometown, Tracy, and I haven't seen her I've seen her maybe twice in 30 years. We weren't really close in school, like, small town, everybody knows everybody, but she wasn't like one of my best friends. And after your last Zoom call Thursday night, like a month ago, I had the strongest feeling that I needed to reach out to Cindy and tell her that you were having another session 2 weeks later. And so I did that the next morning, and then she signed up, and it just happened that you spoke to her the day before she was awarding the recipient of her daughter's memorial award at the university. Like it was just meant to be. And
Synchronicity.
yeah, I don't know what my role is in this. All I know is that that's what I'm drawn to now, is bringing people to you.
Well, see, this is an unfinished symphony. This is something that you can't walk away from, right? That's what unfinished symphony means. Soulmates means that you have, I understand it a little more clearly now that you explain that. Not only do you have the gentleman, or the partner, I should say, in your world that makes it safe and possible for you to focus in this other direction, but you have that connection at work. When you described your work, that also fits into the soulmate category, that you just feel the soulmate is about feeling safe, secure, complete, that we have everything we need, right? But what's interesting is that's backed up by these other energies of, that's what this card is meaning, the 5 of Pentacles, feeling out in the cold. So what I can take from that is that you don't feel like you are the one that can pass on these type of messages yet, or that you are the one that is facilitating this yet. You're seeing yourself more as in the retreat role, the pulling back and going inward and trying to learn, right? What you don't understand is that this is what is going to make you better at what you do for work. Because the thing about this is that when you learn the signs and symbols of spirit, they have their own language. So once you understand that language, you can't not see it just because you're in a board meeting, not a reading. You will still see the number synchronicities. You will still see the timing synchronicities. You will still see those symbols, and you will understand what they mean. And that will give you an edge over everybody else.
That makes sense.
One more I want to pull, because this looks pretty cool. And that's just, and what I do have to stress, that the other energy that I get around this is that what's interesting is that this new hobby, passion, idea, whatever you want to call it, is not taking over your work, but it's making your work better. Because if you didn't have this outlet, then work, I think, would feel denser, tenser, more competitive, or more just third dimensional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that totally makes sense, Tracy, because when I met you about 1.5 years ago, my dog had just died and I was devastated. And I came to one of your sessions and my dog came through immediately. She was one of like the first 5 spirits in your room of 50 people, was tripping you on the floor, you said. And it was right then that I had been in a similar job for almost 10 years, but just felt like in a rut. And it was at that time that I started to open up more to this, and I quit my job and started a new job where I pretty much do the same thing, but had a significant raise and a higher title and more respect, and the atmosphere is completely different. And that all started around that same time when my dog died and I saw you, and that was the beginning of a new improved life.
Yeah, that's so awesome. That is so awesome. Okay, I want to pick one more for you, because your symphony is so not done. I know that you think that you don't really have this gift, but I'll tell you something. People that don't have this gift don't spend this much time trying to learn it. People that have the gift try to figure out what it means.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, my friend. It's just a matter of time. See, one of the things my center is going to have is open mic nights. Have you heard me talk about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, communication coming in very soon. Woo! And then they throw them all over the floor. That's funny. I say, because my center's happening, and then they they show me the communication card and throw the rest of them on the floor. Because I think that's exactly what they wanted to say, though, is open mic night at my center is going to be where I bring a bunch of people in. I know you've already heard this, but I'm going to reiterate it for anyone who hasn't, where everybody can come in and practice on each other. Because the only way we really learn to develop and utilize these skills and recognize that we have them is by putting them into practice. And you can't practice talking to people's loved ones or picking up things psychically in their world if you know them. Because if you know them, then you can't tell the difference between what's coming in psychically or what's coming in from what you remember or what you know about them. You can't tell the difference, right?
Right.
The beauty of open mic night is we're going to bring in all these different people, put them into little groups and let them practice on each other. And I'm seeing you come alive like that. As soon as I started talking about that, I pulled the communication card out because I think that's going to really help you take this to the next level.
Cool.
I think that you are supposed to have that whatever this is that you do in work, knowing how to utilize your abilities is really going to take you to that next level. Because like you said, when you know how the vibrational world works, then you can't stay in that mucky water anymore, can you?
No.
It's like you just know there's something so much better coming. What? Yeah, that's exactly it. You just know that there's something so much better coming. So what do I pull out? Literally, holy shit, all three of these cards fell at the same time. Excuse my language, by the way, I get excited.
Okay.
You got the Ace of Wands, which is the biggest, best business card there is. New idea, moving forward, new creation. The 10 of Cups, which is the family happiest. It's one of the happiest cards in the deck, and it represents family and the wishes being fulfilled. So the beautiful thing that this tells me is that by you learning to develop these skills and abilities, you will become the example for the rest of your family as well. And that brings them emotional contentment and security and their wishes being fulfilled.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, sorry, I read a little longer than I wanted, but I hope that was
Thank
helpful.
you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I knew there was a reason that I called in halfway through meetings.
Pardon me?
I said there was a reason that I called in today halfway through your session in between my meetings.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Like I said, every time I've seen your face for the last few days, I've wanted to, or the last few weeks, I should say, I've wanted to pass on a message. But at the same time, your loved ones are so freaking nice when you're in a Zoom group of 30 people and they know you're a member and I can give you a message later. Every time I go to say something, I see the grandmother here go, "That's okay, dear. We'll catch her later. Get that guy. Get that girl. She has never heard from you before."
And that's what she would have done in the physical world. She was so sweet and loving and kind. Yeah.
Please know she's with you and loves you very much.
Thank you. I love her too. Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day. And bye, Amanda. Thanks for sticking around this whole time.
Bye. I love watching. So
All right. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Tracy. Bye-bye.